Friday, November 17th, 2017. Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So it's about 8:40 a.m. London time. I'm going to look at the markets and I'm going to talk about a few other things, including this book, The Law, the classic blueprint for a just society by Frederick Bastiat. Anyway, what's going on this morning? Let's have a look at the markets. So we've got spot gold at around $12.82, up about $3.50. The range has been $12.77.80 and $12.84. So we've been within this tight range for quite a while now. But I've noticed that since October 27th, that was also the day that the dollar index topped at 95.15. And that was the day that gold made a recent bottom at around 12.63. Ever since then, gold has been going up, making higher highs and higher lows. I know it doesn't feel like it. We've had a few raids on the gold price in the last week or so, but gold is still holding really steady. So silver right now, it's at 1708, basically unchanged. The range has been 1705 to 1715. The Dow, big gains yesterday. So I'm glad I was out of those TVIX. And I actually went in and bought some more, actually, of the TVIX. So, and the TVIX market closed a little higher than where I bought it. We'll have to see what happens today. So the Dow is down about 20 points this morning after gaining, I think, about 200 yesterday. We were at 23,437. S&P is down 2 3/4. So normally down the markets. NASDAQ is actually up 2 points. Currencies, the dollar is weakening this morning. We've got the pound up 1/3% at 132.38 or 43 pips. Euro is up 22 pips at almost 118 now. We're at 117.92, up 0.2. And the dollar is down almost 0.5% against the yen at 112.60, down 45 pips. Crude oil, 55.60, up 26 cents. Bond markets, I spoke about the bond markets the other day. And I've got nothing new to report. The bond markets seem to be under total control so far. Still, you know, the 10-year yield's at 2.36%. So right in the middle of the range of the move we saw last week from 232 or 231 to 240. So very steady, the bond markets. So, yeah, talk a little bit more about the dollar index and gold. I'm not going to show the charts today, but yeah, we had a top on October 27th at 95.15, and now dollar index is around 93.75. Yesterday, the dollar did rally a little bit from lows on the 15th at 93.40. I think we almost got up to 94, and now it seems to be coming back down. And also looking at the gold short-term hourly chart, we're actually making pretty steady, albeit frustrating progress from that low at 12.63. We've been making higher highs and higher lows. We have been getting a lot of, raids by the bullion banks and whoever the central banks agents. But I think we could see maybe a break towards 12.90 in the short term. Longer term, I've read articles like King World News, James Sturck, who's involved in the physical market, talking about how the physical market is very tight in London. There's even backwardation in this physical silver market. What does that mean? Well, that means that it costs more to buy silver today than it does, in the future, which doesn't make sense because it should cost more in the future because of the, the opportunity cost of the interest rate of holding, the silver. So that's a situation where people want physical now. There's not enough physical that buyers are willing to pay even more than they would in the future. And usually the futures market in gold and silver, you have the further prices are higher because of the interest rate that you can make by lending out that gold and silver. So that's an interesting thing to keep in mind. Am I saying we're gonna go up and go to 2,000? No, I'm not saying that. But yeah, cryptocurrencies are still doing very well. I think Bitcoin made an all-time high near 8,000 recently in the last 24 hours. One thing I have to say about the rise in cryptocurrencies is actually something from Proverbs in the Bible. And I usually don't bring the Bible up, but there is one proverb here. It says, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." It's almost like beware of speculation, and maybe think about dollar cost averaging. That's whoever gathers little by little will increase it. So just a warning to all those people. Bitcoin has made huge gains. It could all dwindle or evaporate, but I've been thinking more and more about it. Bitcoin, the blockchain. Yeah, and I think the blockchain technology, the decentralization is a good thing. But, does that mean that a coin that is on the blockchain should be worth, and we don't even know what that coin is, it's based on codes, should it really be worth as much as it is now? It's difficult to say. I know there's a limit of 21 million, but couldn't they change that limit? The coders and the programmers, we don't know who invented Bitcoin. So, that's the only problem I've got with it. But I don't have a problem with the blockchain technology, the Ethereum, the smart contract on top of the blockchain. It could decentralize the whole economy. But does that mean that, each coin on a blockchain has to be worth so much? Why not just have, the currency that we use on the blockchain, transfer? I don't know. It's just something that we will find out in the next few years, what this is all about. And some people, I've listened to, there's an interview, Bix Weir from Road to Ruta. He did an interview exactly a year ago with another guy from Miles Franklin. I think it's Andy Hoffman. And they were talking about how gold and silver, were going to be the foundation for the new monetary system. But now, just a recent interview, Bix Weir with X22 Report, he says gold and silver are finished. He says silver might be used for some technological, products, new technology. He says gold and silver are finished. Cryptocurrencies are the future. So what has changed, Bix Weir, in the last 12 months that's made you believe, in gold and silver as money and, their 5,000-year track record, and now in 12 months it's suddenly changed? I don't understand that, and that's why I stick to gold and silver. And I think the price move in Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies is a bit of a enticement, and people need to be wary. I know that there's a lot of people who got in early, so they're doing well, but the same thing happened to the South Sea bubble in England in the 1600s. Even Sir Isaac Newton, a famous scientist, and the keeper of the Royal Mint in London, he lost almost all his wealth trying to get in, getting in that bubble, that South Sea bubble. And what was the South Sea bubble about? It promised, great riches and through trade in the South Atlantic, with the new lands in South America and everything. It was really, enticing as well. So, and was South America, something we should ignore? No. Ever since then, it's become, there are countries there, there's an economy, and that's what I'm trying to say. I think the bubble in the crypto market right now, they're discounting, the whole future right now. And it's like the South Sea bubble. They're discounting the whole future of South America and trade, there in 1620, I think it was, or I forgot the exact date. That's what they're doing. They're discounting it all then. It completely collapsed. Does that mean that there was no future in South America and the trade with South America? No, there was a big future. Does that mean that there isn't a future in the blockchain and decentralization? No, there will be, but does it justify the price moves we've seen in these cryptocurrencies? I don't think so. So I would be wary about that. Well, and now to the law, to this book. I think this is a book that if someone asks me what's the book that everyone should read, that would be it. And it wouldn't be too difficult because it's not even 100 pages. So it would be easy to read. So I read here from the first chapter. It says, Frederick Bastiat, the law perverted and the police powers of the state perverted along with it. The law, I say, not only turned from its proper purpose, but made to follow an entirely contrary purpose. The law became the weapon of every kind of greed. Instead of checking crime, the law itself, guilty of the evils it is supposed to punish. If this is true, it is a serious fact, and moral duty requires me to call the attention of my fellow citizens to it. Well, basically, he argues that life, faculties, and production, in other words, individuality, liberty, property, this is man. And he says that these came before the law, and the law only came to protect those. And the government is like a collective of individuals that get together to protect, their life, faculties, and production. And if you use the law, which is a collective, or the government, to actually take away those things, you're perverting the law. So that's his basic argument of this book. Like he says that taxation is legal plunder. Says that tariffs are plunder as well, all legal. If you have the law, and he argues that life, liberty, faculties, that came from a higher power. In this case, he says God, and the law was only instituted to try to protect these. And the law is made up, the government of the law is a collective of individuals trying to protect each individual. If you use that law to attack the individual, you're perverting it. So yeah, highly recommend that. You can find a PDF online, The Law by Frederick Bastiat. And that was written in 1850 when Europe was turning to socialism already back then, especially France. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share this video far and wide. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And you can also follow me on Twitter and on steemit.com. Take care. Bye.